And of course, the title race to come. Just a quick word on
game, how hard they worked, how they worked together. If one player was out, how the other player would fill in, because at times you saw the left back on the right hand side attacking, but they never feel uncomfortable, and that takes a lot of an understanding of where you are on the pitch, what players are out of position, and to recognise those things and make sure those gaps are filled. And I think De Zerbi, the tactic he went to Emirates with was perfect. He upset the rhythm of play as much as they possibly can. They played aggressively. They took chances at times, as Dad said at half time. But ultimately, when they needed to hit it long, they stretched the game as well. And they never really ever underhit that long ball. It was always overhit to give the attacker time to get onto it or turn it into a good ball. And every time they did, they just looked really, really dangerous with it.
Only the top two have won more away games this season in the Premier League. But in terms of them having more energy than Arsenal, did that have anything to do with City's result beforehand? Did that deflate the Arsenal players, do you think, Righty, a little bit?
I wouldn't like to think that would be any kind of excuse for them to not.
No, but a small factor.
There's no way it's not going to be on your mind that City beat them and beat them comfortably. Of course, when you're coming out, like Mikel Arteta said, we know what we have to do. We've had to win all those games. And like I say, the Brighton game was always a game what was going to be a little bit of a banana skin, what we saw. And today, like Sean rightly said, the way they set up for Arsenal to press them, and then they go long. And if Arsenal, when Arsenal was stretched because they'd gone long, then they passed it through. And then you had one-on-ones. Mitoma gave Ben White as big a roasting I've seen a player get for a long time, especially Ben White, who's been playing well this season. And the midfield, in and around, the front men, the midfield, everything was, we just couldn't get it going. We couldn't get it going. Ødegaard couldn't get in the game. Even Jorginho was struggling to get in the game the way Brighton pressed and just made everything so uncomfortable. They've got to get a lot of credit for stopping Arsenal. But at the same time, that game too far for them with the way that Brighton came, so tactically aware and ready, and we just couldn't get over that hurdle.
Let's have a look at the goals then. 6 minutes into the second half. Before Enciso puts this in, Jakub Kiwior.
Yeah.
What did you make of this?
Well, at first I thought, well, he's obviously got to go. You look at this is what we're talking about with the long ball. Look where this ball's coming from. That is what they've done to us. Look how stretched we are. Look where that ball's gone, right into their final third. And once we get into this situation, now, you want to get tighter to him, but he's been brilliant all game. When the overlap's good, and then that's where it happens there. Now, I was thinking, oh my gosh, there's something drastically wrong with him, because he's stopped, he's gone down, so he will not be able to play on, because I've never seen this before, Steve, with all due respect to him. Because if you're bad, then you go off. But if you know you're going to be able to play on, yes, he's stepped on his foot there, but like the boots come off, I get that. But now, you go and you mark and then you deal with it. Because let's face it, he's able to play on. So that foul cannot be bad enough for him to completely go on his knees and the guy have a free header. So that one was, for me, that's a goal that should not have happened.
I totally have to agree. I was honestly really surprised that it even happened. I think from a young age, it doesn't matter what country you've played in, what league you've played in, what team you're in, you're always taught that until the whistle goes, you do not stop playing. So for me, all he has to do is stand up. If he stands up, I think he clears the ball.
Yeah.
But because he's down, it just bounces into that space.
The thing with it, Sean, is that when you see it, it's not a scrape, it's not a bad foul. Yes, he's caught him on the boot, and look, he's caught the boot. It's not his ankle, so he's just scraped the boot off. And now, this is like you say, we're always taught you play to the whistle, you play to the end. I remember watching not long ago. I remember Christian Pulisic pull his hamstring and still went another 3 steps to make sure that he could pass the ball off. That's natural in you. So to see him to go down like that was really, really surprising. I thought that he had a really bad injury. But the fact that he could carry on says to me that he should have been able to see that little bit of phase of the play out and then sort out the boot and sort out what you're doing.
Trossard had come on in the first half for Martinelli against his former club. What did he do wrong in the build-up to the second goal?
You want to talk?
can start, you can
Well,
start.
the thing about it is that we are going to try and play out. And when you look at him here, he's got the time. That is a difficult thing he's trying to play that around the corner into his teammate with
What should
the
he do?
outside of his left foot. For me, I think he needs to either take that on the right foot and come into this space over to his right, keep control of the ball. Because the way the defender, the way the guy's closing him down, the way he's come in, he's kind of gone to that side, Sean, because he knows that he might want to turn it round the corner. Trossard has to read the situation. He's got enough space on his right foot to then turn out to his right and then maybe play it to Kieran Tierney and then get the move going. That was just somebody who's come off the bench. He's not maybe, I don't know if he's up to speed with the game or whether he cares enough at that particular moment, because the way he flicked his left foot out of that was not right at that phase of the, look at that, at that stage of the game, in that phase of the pitch.
It's a great finish from Undav, but I just feel like, Dad, if he uses his right foot, I understand he can't get it to Nketiah because, like you said, he stepped across. But worst case scenario, he hooks it round the corner to say Saka. Do you know what I mean? So for me, he's got your option and that option. He knows he's there. So for me, it has to pick one of them.
The main thing, Sean, is you can't give the ball away there.
Like
you can't
that.
lose the ball there.
Not like
especially in the manner he gave the ball away there, because the way the left foot just came out, it's almost flippant. Look,
he can't get around him.
You can't do that. You've got to make sure that ball, if you're going to do it like Sean says, get it right round the corner or control it, move it to the right. But that there is you're not getting away with that. You're not getting away with that, and we didn't, unfortunately. In a game that we needed to be at it, we weren't quite at it.
Yeah, and Undav had been on the pitch less than 4 minutes, 3 goals in 4 games now for the German. And then right deep into stoppage time, Estepinian scored his first goal for Brighton to finish it off, guys.
Well, you look at this and you see it being held off there, Kiwior being held off there. Now what you want to see is get yourself back. Get yourself back. Like Vary's had a little... Now, for me, you've got to be getting back. Get yourself back. Look at him. This is
Not 1 point.
he's got to be sprinting to get back in there to stop this. This is too easy. This is too easy when you look at it. You know, Ben White obviously pulled out of position. Kiwior's over that side. He has a go to try and close down, and then once it doesn't happen, he kind of gets body checked. He kind of gives up on it. And, you know, I'd say maybe that's the inexperience of playing at this level in this league. Obviously, you know, with Saliba out and him coming in at this stage of the season, it's a massive for him to come in at such a pressurised time of the season. And when you look at stuff like that, it just makes me see, yeah, maybe, you know what I mean, he's coming a bit early simply because of those instances. You see that he's somebody that, from a footballing point of view, he's a very good player. I think we've got a very good player there. Obviously, he's going to have to bulk up a bit. And then, you know, those kind of mistakes you can't make. And
is that just the squad depth? When we've said all along, when you're looking at Manchester City and earlier on, the 4 changes they made, left De Bruyne and Grealish, Atal on the bench.
Yeah, I did. It takes time to build that squad depth. I think what Arsenal have done...
What, like City?
Yeah, but I'm saying what Arsenal have done in general is he thinks I'm having a dig, doesn't he? I'm not.
City can afford to do it,
I'm not going to comment on that. I think what Arsenal have done, I think, has been enormous. It's been amazing. It's been a fantastic season for them. I think nobody believed or assumed this season this was going to happen between Arsenal and Manchester City. It's happened, and they've taken it even further than people thought.
And some.
Yes, I think we showed a good reaction after the defeat from last week against Everton, and the 3 points are big points, and we're happy that we got the points and we got the win.
Just how good were Brighton today, Jason?
Yeah, I think we were very good. You know, last week it was a freak result, really. I think it was one of them where we're still learning. We have to understand that we have to maintain our mental attitude week in, week out, play with intensity, desire, passion. I think we did that today.
How much was that mentality that you mentioned there the key today? After last week, to come here, I think it's fair to say, boss the game. They've only lost once here this season, Arsenal.
Yeah, the mentality was key. You know, we spoke at length last night. The manager was brilliant in a meeting last night, and I think, yeah, he's going to be happy with that today.
Yeah.
What in particular did he say to you, Dennis?
Not to me, to the whole team. He showed us a video from a famous person, and
Name names.
Michael Jordan was for me, it's LeBron James, but let's say the best basketball player ever, and he showed us how he got motivated, or how he motivated himself each game, and he showed us after the defeat against Everton. I think it was the right choice to show us a video like this, and I think we showed today how we got prepared for the game and how mentally strong we are.
I was going to say, it's one thing to be shown that, it's one thing to take it on board, to go out and do it, to receive the ball in defence, to receive the ball from Jason, and do it when you're under pressure as well. What does that take?
Takes balls and you need to be mentally strong. Even if you do a mistake, everybody knows what to do in these kind of situations. We train this every day, every day, 2 or 3 hours in the training session. We watch every day video, have meetings, and it's nice to show in a big game like this.
How big a step could that be in your quest for putting Brighton first time ever in Europe?
Yeah, I think it could be big. I think, listen, after last week, it was a case of resetting, making sure we were fully prepared, ready for today. And I think that could be massive for us. I think just the boost that we beat Arsenal and Man United in the last 3 games, you know, and I think if we can't grow on that and take confidence from that, then obviously we're doing something wrong.
Does that make it very different, the teams you've got to face? Manchester City, Newcastle United, knowing that you can come here and do that?
We need to show it against every team. Against the best team is better to show. You know, it's everybody wants to play football. It's a high level, and I think everybody wants to play in the top 4, like Newcastle, City, Arsenal, and we can compete with them. And we showed this today, and we want to show it every game.
Be honest, what were you thinking when you lobbed that ball and it was in the air?
Just hoping the ball goes in and we get the 2-0. So it was a great feeling. To be fair, I had a 1 chip already. And now it's the second one. I'm happy that I was in the right position and to score the goal. And I want to say sorry for the word I used before.
I didn't like to mention it, but well done you. Great stuff today, guys. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
بايرن ميونخ يحصن مولر ضد الشائعات. أجرى أوليفير كان رئيس التنفيذي لنادي بايرن ميونخ الألماني وحسن صالح حميديتش عضو مجلس إدارة لشؤون كرة القدم محادثات مع النجم توماس مولر للتأكيد على أن الفريق لا يزال يعتمد عليه. وكانت صحيفة سبورت بيلد الأسبوعية قد ذكرت في عددها الصادر يوم الأربعاء أن مولر يحاول الرحيل عن صفوف باير لعدم رضاه بوقت المشاركة الذي كان يحظى به تحت قيادة المدرب السابق يوليان ناغلسمان والمدرب الحالي توماس توخيل. وفقد مولر مؤخرا مكانه في التشكيلة الأساسية لبايرن ميونخ، لكنه يرتبط مع النادي بعقد يستمر حتى عام 2024. ورد مولر بسخرية على شائعات رحيله عن الفريق في الوقت الذي استبعده فيه أوليفير كان مثل هذا السيناريو. ولجأ مولر إلى تطبيق الانستغرام للرد على الشائعات التي تتحدث عن مصيره، حيث وقف إلى جانب واحد من جيادي واسمه كينغ دايف مع تعليق منه على الصورة قال فيه: إذا كان يمكنك قراءة كينغ دايف الآن أصبح شرسا حقا. تركيز كبير على البطولة. ويلعب مولر صاحب 33 عاما مع بايرن ميونخ منذ أن كان يبلغ 10 أعوام، وشارك للمرة الأولى في الدوري الألماني البوندسليغا في عام 2008 وفاز مع شوق الجماهير ب30 مع الفريق في 2013 و 2020، وبالإضافة للعديد من الألقاب ولقب كأس العالم مع المنتخب الألماني. وذكرت صحيفة بيلد أن مولر يرغب في مواصلة اللعب على أعلى مستوى حتى عام 2024، وهو العام الذي ينتهي فيه عقده مع باير. وقال أوليفير كان في حوار مع بيلد إن رحيل مولر لن يحدث، وأضاف: إذا حدث هذا سأقنعه بالبقاء. توماس جاهز، لن يتلقى إصابات ولديه شخصية قوية، إنه لاعب مهم للغاية للمنظومة بأكملها. متأكد من أن توماس سيلعب المزيد من المباريات معنا.